Last week, I asked that we, from time to time during this past week, consider what am I thinking? Each one of us to ask that question of ourselves. Now I've got another question. If you pondered that or questioned yourself what you think, are those thoughts that we have healthy thoughts? You know, I'm just going to tell you right out, my words aren't my words today. I recently got Netflix. Way cool. I have been watching documentaries. And there is one that has really spoken to me. It's called HEAL, H-E-A-L. And if you look on Netflix under documentaries, type in HEAL, it'll show up. I encourage, suggest, hope that each one of you watches this. It's an hour and 46 minutes, and it's the best hour and 46 minutes I've spent 3 or 4 times in the last few weeks. The people who put this together had Deepak Chopra, Michael Beckwith from the Agape Center down in LA, the fellow that wrote the book that I think so much of, Greg Braden, Marianne Williamson, and about a dozen other doctors and specialists that I don't even remember their names. But it's all about mind-body medicine. Kind of Eastern or indigenous medicine. It's about being in harmony with your mind and your body and divine mind. I think I mentioned last week, there is divine mind in every life. That divine thinking that keeps your blood pumping, that keeps your hair growing, that keeps the waves in the ocean working, that keeps the planets revolving around the whatever they revolve around. Ananda will set me straight on that. And that divine mind, that divine intelligence, put within each human being an automatic fix-it system, a healing process. We call it the autoimmune system. It's a healing process that discovers every place where there is, Marianne Williamson calls it, every time we take a hit. Everything goes to work to fix it. And our thinking not only controls our actions, our thinking, our minds, are everything in our lives. And when I say thinking healthy, I don't mean necessarily what you eat, or if you put your coat on before you get a chill. Thinking healthy. When we think about anger, when our thoughts are hateful or angry or fearful, we're telling our adrenaline to stop working on keeping our parts all working properly and all the balance going on. We're telling our adrenaline and our immune system, stop what you're doing. I want to be hateful. I want to be angry. I want to be afraid. And it does exactly what we want it to do. It stops doing what it's automatically designed to do, what the divine intelligence is, and starts doing what our minds tell it to do. And when we take on all this anger and hatred and violence and frustration and depression, it builds up toxins because the autoimmune system can't work like it's designed to, because we override it. And when we build up all these toxins and all this negative energy in ourselves, it creates irritation. It creates inflammation. And that irritation and inflammation goes and finds a home somewhere that is most susceptible to us, where we're the weakest. And all of a sudden, that little problem we have starts getting bigger problems. There's one of the ladies in this documentary that did a study of 1,500 cases throughout the world in every different culture and religion and race and intelligence and economic factors, of 1,500 radical withdrawals, remissions from people who had like cancer or severe illness, life-threatening illness. And she collected all the data of all these interviews. And it seems like the people that experienced this healing did 75 different things, had developed 75 different practices that brought about this healing in their lives. And she said, no one person, no two people did all 75. But she said it was incredible that all of them had adopted these 9. That's why I wrote them down. And if you look at these, the first 2 are the only 2 that actually require action, physical action. First one, radically change your diet. Well, it's a proven fact that vegans are amongst the most healthy and the most irritating people on the face of the earth. But using herbs and supplements. Go down through this list. I encourage you to take this list home and think about it. They're very basic, kind of ambiguous a little bit. But these are the things that people who experienced healing, and you don't see anything on here about opioids and steroids and antibiotics. When we ingest those into our bodies, that changes the whole balance of our chemistry. And sometimes it's really a wonderful thing. When we experience a huge infection or trauma, like a car accident or a heart attack, we don't need a holistic healer. We don't need a chiropractor or a massage. We need a surgeon. And it's, thank God we have that at our disposal. But Deepak Chopra, who's a doctor, says that 90% of the illnesses that people go to the doctor for are caused by stress. And we take that stress in every time we turn on the television, every time we talk about politics or religion or these kids that are going down the toilet. You know, it's like we take it all in. But the trouble is we don't get rid of it. And it festers. And we think we're just fine. And then something will click the switch and we become violently ill. We become depressed. We become filled with anger and fear. And we are not healthy. every one of us could use some purging of all this stress that we take in. And our society has designed that stress for us. We are fed negativity every second we are out in the world. And the only time we're not is when we're sitting here together, or when we choose to not let it in. We're aware of it, we hear it, okay. We don't have to take it into our subconscious. We don't have to make it part of our conscious decision making. When we let that subconscious make our decisions, that's the tape recorder. It can drive the car, it can do all kinds of things for us. It can have whole conversations with people. And we never have a conscious thought in those actions. And in that tape recording lifestyle, we continue to take in all the stress. We fortify all the stress that actually impacts our subconscious as well. It takes work, it takes desire, it takes awareness. Every word you speak actually creates something. It creates a reaction in someone else who ever heard what you speak. Every thought we have causes a reaction. And what kind of reaction do you want in your life? Do you want it to be healthy? Or do you want it to interrupt this divine process of constant healing and repair that goes on in our bodies every single moment, asleep or awake? I found a wonderful purge for a lot of the stress, the anxiety, the anger. We all know what it is. It's forgiveness. And when we have this feeling of forgiveness, and we consciously think, I'm going to release that and let it go. No harm, no foul, no residue. Doesn't change a thing in the past. Not a thing. But it absolutely changes the future. It absolutely lets go of all that anger, hatred that we have for something that happened that most of the time we have no control over. And even the things that we did have control over, that we did, let it go. Forgive it. Just let it go. All part of the process. It's all part of the journey. We learned what those nasty things can cause. We saw the reaction of it. We don't have to hold it in consciousness all the time. Let it go. Let that negativity, let that toxic condition in your body leave. And allow the divine intelligence of healing to take place in your life. I can't encourage you enough to watch Heal on Netflix. It'll be the best hour and 46 minutes you ever spent, I promise you. We're going to stand up and sing, I am free, I'm unlimited. But I'm going to challenge you just a little bit. We've sung that song 1,000 times. And when we can sing that song and actually believe it and think it, my friends, your life will be transformed. And the next time we sing it and think it again, and there will be more transformation take place. I am free. I am unlimited. I am filled with divine intelligence, with divine healing, with divine love. I am absolutely free and unlimited. Stand up, please.